Hey there. We are Samuel here, or Cushman. We are getting ready for winter. I wanted to give everybody kind of an update. It's been a couple weeks since we posted anything. We got some construction work in town, both my daughter and I, and that was a blessing. Probably about 3 weeks worth of work, which is setting us up for winter real nice, and paid some bills and things. And looks like she's going to go to work for a local major box chain, let's just put it that way. And she's going to have a good little career there. So she's just getting ready. She had to do her background check and all that. Just no big deal. Anybody that knows my daughter, she's got a fingerprint clearance card, so that was no big deal. And she'll do her orientation hopefully at the end of this week. And then I'm going to keep working for this construction company for a bit and just setting things up. So it's nice, even with the heart condition and everything. It's been good. I've been doing some heavy lifting and a lot of working. The firewood gathering, which we'll show in a minute, has kind of set things up and got me in good shape. Gained about 15 pounds of muscle now, and just feeling indomitable, kind of getting back to what I used to once be, which is nice. That's the beauty of this kind of life, actually, is you get to measure yourself against hard work, and I guess at the end of the day, you get to see the progress that you've made. So we've been busy. Let me kind of walk you down the property here, and then I'll show you at the end here, I'll show you the clearing that we're going to be making for my daughter's A-frame come this spring. Shout out to Gearhead Gardens, which I know he watches quite a bit. Looking forward to picking up that Alaska sawmill for you. I'm going to drop some of the poplar here on the property and make my own beams. They're going to be 4x6 foot beams, 22 feet long for her A-frame. So she's kind of decided she wants 34 foot long A-frame, and you can do the math. It's going to be 22 foot long timbers. So, I mean, 600-700 square foot plus a loft. So she'll have about 800-900 square feet, and it's a good size for just one person for her. So let me flip this around, and I'll walk you around the property. This is the tail end of the clearing here as you first come onto the land. We had a nice little kind of brief rainstorm this morning. It was beautiful, just, cooled everything down a bit. And we do have some grass seed down out here. We're going to have to come through. Hopefully the goats are going to take care of the clearing. But you can see the clearing's coming along. We've got some brush piles from a bunch of trees. I dropped probably about, 10, 12 trees in here. And it's a lot of work. But got some good cherry. Thank you, Gearhead Gardens. He made a trip out here with his better half. Shout out, Megan. And kind of helped me with some species identification. Being from Washington State originally, I know the evergreen trees and the softwoods, but the hardwoods have been an education. And like that, for example, is a nice tall cherry tree right there. Obviously, you got some non-native pines, which we're planning on taking a lot of those out. They were not native to this area. They were replanted when this was logged. We believe it was logged right around 30 years ago. But good size wood. Give you some reference here. I got pretty decent sized hands and pretty good sized rounds. That'll make good firewood once we split it out. And we started our firewood collection here. So we got one stack. This is some green stuff that we cut down and just stacking and letting it dry a little and age. Hopefully it'll be seasoned enough to burn by December or so. We'll see. And then we got more of a dry stack here. And it's a mix of pine, locust, whatever we've got here on the property. But between the two stacks here, then we got some in another clearing. That is 16 feet long. That stack, and I would say on average about 3 feet, so you can do the cord measurements. For those who aren't familiar, a cord is 4x4x8 stacked out. So I can't remember the math on it lengthwise in a single stack, but you got about a good solid rick of wood there. And then another one here. There's a lot of wood locked up in these rounds here. Once we split it out, it's going to stack out a lot more than it is on rounds. But kind of been clearing back in here. Last time Gearhead Gardens was out here with his wife, you couldn't even walk hardly down here, but we started to clear it out. And a lot of this stuff is seasoned up. It's been down. When they came in and bulldozed the clearing, they just pushed trees over, and they've been down a good solid year, year and a half. So they're kind of seasoned up, and some of them are dry. Got some pine here cut up down on the ground. And we do have a nice big-ass widowmaker right here, excuse my French, but that thing got pushed over, and it's hanging in that tree. So pretty quick here, we're going to hook a chain up to the truck, and we're going to have to cut that off and then pull it out. Otherwise, that's going to kill somebody someday. I mean, it's dead up there. It's just hanging on the branches of this cherry tree right here. So at least it's a cherry tree. It's pretty steady. But if you're looking, we own everything downhill. There's a creek actually on the property, and we have roughly 450 feet of creek at the bottom of the holler here. But we've got a lot of firewood that's just cut up, downed, ready to go, and this is burnable. And good sized rounds too. Give you a hand reference size here. So decent sized rounds, and there's a lot of it. I mean, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these that are about this size. So we got a good 1.25 cords of wood sitting just in those that's already ready. It actually needs to be bucked up this year. Otherwise, we're going to look at it possibly starting to rot on the ground. And then it's not much use for firewood. So now we can actually walk down into the clearing here. So that part was nice. And we're looking to make a little bit of a garden tractor pass, so I can take a garden tractor with a trailer down here and haul firewood up. Because right now it's taken, once I cut it here, I got to toss it 3 times to get the rounds up to stack, and that's just backbreaking and senseless. So I think I spotted one in town in Hohenwald. A couple riding tractors. The mower decks don't work, but they're good riding tractors, lawn mowers. And I don't care if the mower deck works or not, but they can pull a little trailer, and that'll help out. But yeah, we've got some grass seed thrown down in here. So we ought to see some of that starting to sprout up. We're not going to get real serious about planting until spring. I just figure I'd throw some seed down over the winter, and we'll see what takes hold. But we have really wanted this. I mean, we've shopped for a structure, and we've got one getting dropped this Monday. But we've spent the last month in that tent, 18 by 20, and survived damn near tornado weather. Shout out to Martin, another time, another place. If you watch this, we went through that nasty storm, and being up here on the mountain, it was ugly. I mean, we retreated to the car because the tent got blown down on one of the stakes. So we retreated to the car that night, and you know, by all local accounts here, that was the kind that tornadoes drop down out of. So it was nice we made it through that. Had to cut there's one of the tent stakes bent in the back here. So our repair was to go cut a locust pole here and use a locust pole and lash it to the tent. That didn't come down, and it won't come down. You can see how that windstorm, it snapped it clean. What had happened is the water had pooled up top here on the tent, on the tarp, and actually sunk down, and the weight of that, obviously, I mean, there's probably 50 gallons of water up there. I mean, and it just crushed it. There's the Aussie Kelpie, perfect homestead dog. Hi, Athena. This pen, I wouldn't do it any different. It has been invaluable for having the dogs and be able to contain her here and there when, because you leave her without supervision, you're in trouble. But the campsite's a little messy. We haven't done any cleaning yet today, but let the daughter clean it up. And here's the trailer that we picked up off of Gearhead Gardens here in a trade. And it's been invaluable. One of the beauties of this construction job is I've been able to pick up a bunch of supplies. So we now have all the insulation in here. All the insulation and Tyvek and everything else we need to insulate the shed when it comes. That's probably $500-600 worth of material sitting in there. And a good R19. And we've cleared just about everything out here. So we've got, right now, close to 2 acres of cleared out ground, which is really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it for a second. There's the trusty Honda Civic. She's been a warrior. Survived the DoorDash wars so far. Now I got regular work again. We don't have to beat on it door dashing, which is nice. So let me pause it and we'll go down below here. And actually we'll just walk down, give everybody a tour. There's the trusty steel saw. It's my favorite toy here. It's a little one. It's a MS-170, which I'd much prefer an 044. But I gotta tell you, for just a little saw, it's just been beat on now. I mean, I'm cutting 14, 15-inch logs down there, and it should be, I mean, it gets a little hot, but she just keeps running. So I told the daughter this morning, I don't care if it blows up. If it blows up after the winter's firewood is cut, we'll pick up another one in the spring. So we'll walk down the road. We do have neighbors. They're down here. I don't know if they're going to make it through the winter and the structures and the tent they got, but we'll see. Kind of sadly, we have another neighbor, an old veteran guy that's down the way here that we really like, a real friendly guy, and he said that he's tapping out. He's just beat up and can't do it, which we've watched a lot of people. They come in and they don't understand. We knew coming in. My daughter didn't because she hasn't lived this, but I have. I knew how tough it was going to be, and I've been really proud of my girl. I mean, she has shown some resilience that, honestly, there's one member of my family, I think, that has that kind of resilience, and there's nobody on her mama's side that does. I mean, she's shown more resilience in her pinky finger than, I mean, it's incredible for a young lady to be willing to live in a tent and camp out, in essence, for a couple months now. I mean, it's incredible. I'm incredibly proud of her. Not going to apologize for being a proud daddy, that's for sure. But this is all of our land that I'm still walking on down here. And this is that ragweed that got old Dollar sick there. But since we started giving him the Zyrtec pills, which the vet recommended, he doesn't itch anymore, it doesn't bother him. So he's healed up nice. You can hardly even tell he even had any bare wounds from the allergies. But this part of the property here, it's hard to do it justice on the camera, the angle. But this has a narrow strip of maybe 30 feet, and then it kind of drops off into the holler and the creek down there. And so it's not a real good building site. According to the developer, we have to give them at least 20 feet off the road, and they would prefer in the bylaws that we signed, the covenants, they want the structure to be 40 feet from the road's edge. So obviously that wouldn't work for a build. We were in here yesterday, and kind of like up top, we have a ton of down timber. So I cut through, this is a big log deck, and I cut through quite a bit of it, and we still got a bunch more. I mean, there's a ton of firewood left in here. You can kind of get an idea. Just blow down. You know, nobody's done anything with this section of land in 20, 30 years. So you have blow down, you can see the lot across the road. They have a standing dead snag right there that needs to come down. At some point it's coming down, you just hope you're not walking by it when it does. But right down here is, we're going to be working this today. I'm going to be bucking them off in 8-foot lengths and dragging them up to the clearing up top so I can cut it into firewood and stack it by the fence. But we were in here yesterday to test the wood, get a couple cuts in, and see what it looks like. It's still good. It's not fully rotted, or rotted yet. But those are good-sized rounds right here. It's good sized wood. And that's a long tree that came down right there. You kind of follow that out with the camera. And we got more here. There's one that goes all the way. We're going to take care of that one today. And there's just kind of crisscross blowdowns. But right back in here is where we want to put Savannah's A-frame, which the actual driveway is going to be right. That's the property edge right there where the sign is. So what we're going to do is, let me walk through here, find our path that we took yesterday. And kind of walked it with the kid and decided where she wanted it. And the terrain really dictates a lot of where you're going to build, right? Now this is a game trail that goes back through here. What's nice is in the summer, this is, you know, a good 15, 20 degrees cooler because of the trees, but you still get some of the sun coming through for the winter time, so it's not going to be an ice box. But right back in here, there's just a little bit of a clearing. Forgive me if I get this wrong, gearhead, but there's a poplar right there going up, and we got some poplar here. Those don't need to come down. We do have a grouping of them that do need to, but this is fairly clear actually back in here. So it's not going to be intense logging to make it clear. But with her A-frame, the way that she wants it, we're going to take down all this scrub right here. And actually you might have to pull that. Yeah, it's a cherry tree. Cherry or a locust. But it looks like that one does have to come down. We'll leave the poplar over here, but starting there, then all the way back, right to this big pine that's sitting right here. So starting right about where I'm at, we've already measured it out. That's a good 35 feet right there. That'll be a good enough size clearing for her A-frame, and it'll be running, back will be, I don't know how to explain this on the video for viewers to recognize, but the you're going to be long ways with the front door of the A-frame is not going to be facing the road. So you're going to have your length this way here. And then we were looking at, right over here is a little bit clear. We're going to have a shed or a stable belt right here. One of the passions that I've had, and it's kind of been a secret for a long, long time, is I want mini horses. And Savannah and I are both looking at some mini horses, and I do want to learn how to drive them and use them to kind of help haul wood and different things around the property, and maybe cart drive them. But we want some mini horses, and so there will be a little stable off in here. And she totally wants to get on board with that. So this is the clearing area here. The beauty is, coming up is turkey season, I believe, and there's a family of 8 wild turkey that exist in here. So in tons of game. But it's nice. We own all the way down. I mean, farther than you can see with the camera here. But it starts to drop off, and then there's a creek that's down there in the bottom of the holler. So this is already set up. I mean, this is a lot clearer than any other section on the property. It's a partial clearing. So this is going to be the side of the A-frame. And what I'm planning on is taking poplars like that one right there. There's a nice big fat one right here. And I'm going to be taking that Alaska mill and this winter dropping that tree. And we're going to use that right there. It's a nice straight saw log. That one for one beam, this one for another. And then that other one over there is just big enough to make a beam out of. So there's 3 of the beams. And just kind of going across any of the other poplar that are here, we're going to use that for the 22-foot beams. And my goal is to make them 4x6 beams. True 4x6, not lumber store dimensions, which they're always shy. A 2x4 is not really a 2x4. It's an inch and high change. But true lumber. And that's what we're planning on doing. So pretty soon this will be a cleared out area, and everybody can kind of follow along. And as we work that little steel and see how long that thing will last. It's done done pretty good so far. But this has been absolutely a joy. I mean, it's really, really nice. You wake up in the morning, you can hear the coyotes going to bed, and you hear the wild turkey kind of moving around a bit. It's just peace. There's no city traffic noise. There's no any of that. And the air is just perfectly clean up here. Just beautiful. You can watch the butterflies kind of fly by. We have a lot of beautiful butterflies here in Tennessee, big ones. And you can kind of watch those go by. So the nature is absolutely beautiful. But we're going to get to sawing today and get some of this timber bucked out. And you can never have enough firewood for wintertime. So cut away, and we'll be grateful for it when the snow hits. All right. Just beautiful. And that is, again, another thing of beauty is you can kind of walk up and you can see, hey, I just worked on that yesterday and I got some. This is dry, this stuff here. It'll be ready to burn anytime. We burned some of it in the fire pit last night. It's kind of nice to walk up and see some wood that you got bucked and stacked. So, nice sense of accomplishment, instant gratification. So we're going to continue on, and as the videos go, you'll notice this will get cleared off, and we'll keep you updated.